Hello, this is SJ Talks and Light coming back at you with another video. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe, please, and thank you. If you didn't get a chance to catch my video where I said that I am no longer a Jehovah's Witness, if you did, I'm gonna link that video up to this, and I'll put the link to that video in the description box. If you didn't get a chance to get over there to check that out. I was a Jehovah's Witness, but I'm no longer a Jehovah's Witness. I decided to leave the organization, and I went into all those details in that other video. But I'll basically sum it up, give you a sum up from basically what I said. I found that there was a lot of that they had altered a lot of scriptures in their Bible, and they have a lot of unscriptural rules and things like that. And I decided that that was a deal breaker for me, and amongst other reasons, why I decided that it was my best interest to leave the organization. But I noticed that there is a lot of people on here. I noticed that there's a lot of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses on YouTube. More and more of them are starting to come forth and start YouTube channels, and more people are telling their stories about their experiences in the organization. It varies from person to person. Like some people was raised in the organization, and they had some bad experiences. Some people were sexually abused. I mean, there's a lot of cases that are surfacing as far as sexual abuse in the organization and everything like that. That's problematic. But a lot of people there were some people that are raised in it, and they were disfellowship, or they decided to not, that they didn't want to be a Jehovah's Witness, and then they were shunned by their family members and stuff like that. So a lot of people, it's everybody's situation is different. Everybody's experience in the organization is different, and a lot of people are coming. Tons of people are starting to come on YouTube, and they're starting to tell their story, as to how they got into the organization, or how many years they was in it, and why they decided to leave. Whatever situation is that. Now, some people on here, some people have decided to not only leave the organization, but they have decided to base their YouTube channel off of educating, advocate, or letting people know about warning people that may think about getting into the organization, about what the organization is from their perception. Or, well, there's a lot of them that have that come with receipts. But some of the ex Jehovah's Witnesses, there's a whole community of ex Jehovah's Witnesses here on YouTube, and they call them apostate channels. They may consider me an apostate. I don't know. I guess if you lead the organization and you know, I don't know. You state the reason why. I don't know. I don't know. You considered an apostate if you walk away. But, they call them apostate channels, or whatever the situation is. Now, I know there's one guy on here that he says he wasn't even in the organization, and he's on here educating people about the organization. So, but most of the channels on here, most of the ex-Jehovah's Witness channels, they used to be, at one time or another, they were Jehovah's Witness, or where they were raised in it, and situations like that. Now, some people use their channel to educate people about the organization. So people, when they're getting, if they're just trying to make a decision of whether they want to get into the organization, they can make an informed decision, and or what they want to do. Some people like to warn people about um, the stuff that goes on in the organization and stuff like that. You got ex-elders that was people that used to be elders on here. I just coming to realize there's a huge community. The ex-Jehovah's Witness sector of YouTube is it's huge. It's huge, and it's growing more and more and more. Now, I got a couple of favorite channels I like to watch, and one of them is critical ex Jehovah Witness critical thinker. They just I think the one guy, it's a married couple that used to be in the organization, and the husband was an elder, and I like that channel because they really come with the receipts. They come with the receipts. They come with the receipts. It's a few of them on here that has done their research, and they really come with the receipts, but and that's what I want to talk about. There's some ex-Jehovah Witness channels, they come with the receipts. They really want to educate people, and they want to kind of warn people about some of the things that, and it shocks me when I hear some of the stories, and they said that, well, they told us this and that, because the organization prides themselves on being cohesive. The organization prides themselves on being cohesive and being on the same page. Like that's the whole time when I was in the organization, they was like, well, we're cohesive, we're all doing the same thing and all this kind of stuff. But then I'm finding that other ex-Jehovah Witnesses are coming forth and saying, well, in my congregation, they did this or they said this. And I'm like, they didn't say that in my congregation. And so I know it was one I was listening to on here, and he said that, now I'm not sure if this guy was an ex-Jehovah's Witness, this one channel that I was looking at, but I've heard ex-Jehovah's Witnesses saying that too. That said they teach that Jesus is an archangel, and that's not true. That's not what I was taught in the hall I was taught that Jesus was the son of. They don't believe in the Trinity. They don't believe in the Trinity doctrine. So they always said Jesus is the son. They never said nothing about him being an archangel in my hall. But then I hear other witnesses saying that. So that's they pride themselves on being cohesive. But then I'm hearing all these other witnesses, ex-witnesses, saying, well, they did this at my hall, or like at my Kingdom Hall, the one I was going to, they was like, if someone is inactive, they didn't get disfellowship, but they're inactive, try to encourage them to come back. Now I'm hearing these other ex-Jehovah's Witnesses coming forth and saying that if somebody walked away from the organization in their hall, they were shunned, and they were told that they were disfellowshipped. So that was like news to me, because in my congregation, they always said that if someone is inactive, or they're not, they walked away, try to encourage them to come back. They've always told us to try to encourage them to come back. So that's inconsistencies, in that's they pride themselves on being cohesive and doing the same thing, and I'm hearing that they're doing different things at different halls, like they're disfellowshipping people that walked away, that, because there's a difference between somebody that committed a sin and got disfellowship versus someone that just decided they didn't want to be a part of the organization no more. There's a difference, and you shouldn't be treating those people like they committed them, because when they get in front of the congregation and say a person has been disfellowship, people going to automatically, the first thing you think about is they committed some type of sin that they don't want to repent for, or whatever situation like that. Nobody never stops to think, well, maybe they just decided to leave. So there is a difference. So they shouldn't be telling the congregation, that people that just decided to leave the organization are disfellowship, because that's being dishonest. But I'm hearing that other congregations are doing that. But in my congregation, they said if a person walked away or are inactive, you can still try to encourage them to come back. So it's like they're not on the same page. They're not about some other things. They said that some of the people said, "Well, this happened in my congregation, and this is how they did things." And I'm like, "No, that's not how they did it in my hall where I was going to." Um, so that's problematic if the cohesiveness is not there like they say it is. All the congregations are not on the same page like they're supposed to be. Everybody doing on some different stuff. So, but that's the thing. Some of the ex Jehovah's Witnesses, I think there's a difference between educating people wanting to give people information about any religious organization. So if they're trying to decide on whether to join an organization, they can they can make an informed decision on whether they want to get into that organization. There's nothing wrong with that. If people want to use their platform to educate people about the organization, it's some good channels on here that they educate people. They don't necessarily bash the organization, but they educate people. God has not led me to do that. I mean, like I said in that video, that I'm not going to be an ex-Jehovah Witness channel, although there's going to be times where I am going to be talking about different things regarding that. I'm not going to, because God is just, if God was leading me to do that, I would do it, but God is not leading me to do that. And so, but it's a difference between coming on here and educating people about the organization and giving people facts about the organization and coming with the receipts and all that kind of stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, to them it is, but I think people should make a more informed decision before they join the organization. But then you got other people on here that are coming from a bashing place where they're bashing the religion. And a lot of things that they're saying is more opinion based. It's more opinion based than it is coming from a factual point of view. So that's how there's a difference. There's a difference between bashing the religion. And I understand that there's people that left for different reasons. Some people have got out of the organization because they've had some very bad experiences with the organization. I've heard some stories. Some people having some very, very bad experiences with the people in the organization, you know. And then you got some of those people that are coming on here and spewing hatred towards the organization. And I just think that there's a difference. I think if you're someone that is studying to be a Jehovah's Witness and you're trying to make the decision on whether or not to join this organization, I'll never tell nobody what to do. I will never tell anybody what they should and should not do. That's not my place. But if you're looking at these videos trying to get information to help make your decision on whether or not you want to join, I would highly recommend that you gravitate towards the channels that are giving you actual receipts. They're giving you actual receipts and they're providing you with the facts about the organization and their practices and all this kind of things. They're giving you the facts versus the ones that are this outright bashing the religion because they had a bad experience, because that's more opinion based. You don't want that. You don't want to listen to the ones that are they have a lot of bitterness towards the organization and because of the things that happened to them in the organization, and they're basically bashing the organization. And it may be some facts in there. But they're all mixed up with their opinions. They're offering more of their opinions than they are actual facts. They do throw some facts in there, but then at the same time, you want, if you're gonna look at those channels, you need to look at the ones that are actually providing the facts. That are actually giving you the facts and showing you the receipts about their organization and everything like that. And so that's the ones that you want to gravitate to, not the ones that's coming on here bashing and all that. I'm not an advocate of bashing any religion, you know. But if you're someone that's studying and you're trying to make a decision on whether or not you want to get into this organization and you want to make an informed decision, and you're looking at these different videos, it's okay to watch them, but watch the ones that are providing you with the facts, as opposed to the ones that they got to axe to grind, and because those are more opinion based, and some of them are bashing. You want facts. That's what you want. You want facts. You don't want a bunch of opinions. You want facts, because that's, at the end of the day, that's their experience. That's their experience in the organization. My experience was different in the organization. Everybody that was in the organization has a different experience with the organization. And everybody's experience is not the same. Some people have had some very bad experiences. And so when they come on YouTube, it's a lot of things, a lot of information about the organization is going to be opinion based. You want the facts. You don't want a bunch of opinions, you know. So that's what I wanted to talk about. You know, the ex Jehovah Witness YouTubers that provide the facts and the receipts versus the ones that come on here and they're bashing and, you know, and stuff like that. And if, you know, I ain't gonna tell nobody how to run their YouTube channel. I mean, if that's what they want to do, that's up to them, you know. But I know the organization is starting to take legal action against some of these YouTubers, ex-Jehovah Witness YouTubers, because they're using too much of their content, or they're using too much of their videos and stuff that, you know, that they show to the members. The videos and stuff that they show to the members, they're putting them on YouTube. So I think I heard where they was taking legal action against some of them because they're using too much of their material. They're using too much of their videos that's supposed to be exclusively for the members, that they didn't want necessarily put on YouTube. In other words, I think they're starting to copyright a lot of their stuff. People got to watch out for that, because it's starting to copyright a lot of their stuff. And if that stuff is copyrighted and you putting it on YouTube, then I heard that they was trying to go after some of them people. So this is something content creators have to be careful of, stuff like that. But yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about. It's just, but there's a huge community, and it's growing. It's more and more of those channels are popping up of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses and telling their stories, and some of them bad experiences, and they have a lot of anger and bitterness towards the organization. You know, a lot of them have some healing to do. And stuff like that. So I'm not knocking anybody's experiences or anything like that, but some, you know, it's just like anything else. It's like anything else. You're coming out of a bad relationship or childhood traumas or anything like that. You have to seek help so you can get the healing. So that those people just have to get the healing. They have to get the healing that they need to heal so they can move on. So they won't be walking around harboring all this bitterness and hatred towards the organization. But I guess that's between them and God at the end of the day. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to talk about. But hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. If you're someone that's studying to become a Jehovah's Witness and you've seen some of those channels, or you're ex-Jehovah's Witness, or whatever the situation is, let me know what your thoughts are, how you feel about the ex-Jehovah's Witness community here on YouTube, or whatever the situation is. If you're trying to make a decision on whether you want to get into the organization and you've been watching those videos, just let me know if you're taking that. I highly recommend that you do your own research. I highly recommend that. I would never tell anybody what to do. Like I said, that's not my place. But I highly recommend that you do your research before. You can listen to those videos, but don't take them at face value. Do your own research. And some of them do come with the receipts, but do your own research. Do your own research. Don't take them at none of them at face value. Do your own research. And that research starts with the Bible. You just simply make comparisons. And that's what I did, you know. So I highly urge you to do this. You can look at some of the ones. Some of them are pretty good. But then also do your own research. Then, you have more knowledge. Because once you see something, you can't unsee it. Once you see it you done did the research and you see it with your own eyes. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. So then that way you can make a more informed decision of whether or not you want to join the organization. That's the only thing I can tell you. Okay, so hit me up in that comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are either way. And until the next video, you guys be blessed.